with Serenity's litter. Again, I don't know. I just ended up being in the box with Serenity's litter. So they have been on some shredded paper. So there's a little bit of shred in here. Let's see. Really keeps them clean. Alright guys, get on the end of a nipple. Here's my little Liberty. Liberty. Alright, so two of them don't really have a good spigot. You're not on nothing. Alright. She's making so much milk, she's actually kind of lost weight. Okay, here. Okay. This Liberty. Look at my belly, I'm full. This mommy is doing such a good job of feeding her puppies. I'm going to Dremel nails. And so what I wanted to show you was we Dremel the puppy's nails every 3 days. And this is Serenity. I'm going to see if she'll allow me to Dremel her nails in here while she's laying down and relax. See if she can maintain this. So here's my Dremel. My shredded paper. So we keep them on shredded paper. It just keeps them so much cleaner and drier. But the truth is, when shredded paper gets wet and dirty, it's trash. So it looks like there's trash in here, but it started out as clean white shredded paper. Okay, here we go. Yeah, she's just kind of eyeballing it. All right, babies. I think I'm bleeding. I stuck a nail in my thumb. I'll go get my horse rasp and rasp this. There's an end of a wood screw sticking through, and I grabbed hold of it and injured myself. Right. Alright, babies, y'all don't need to be back there. There's no milk back there. So you can't see what I'm doing. I'm drumming their nails a little. So they don't scratch their mummy. Drumming nails so they don't scratch their mummy. Booked a hotel up at Branson in June. Kids are coming down. Just kind of excited about that. Getting to see the kids, that is. So here's a real pet peeve of mine. See these babies. And that is, if someone says the price of something and then they change it, that's kind of a peeve of mine. I mean, just tell me what it is, right? Don't lie to me. Don't do the old bait and switch. I don't like that. So that's kind of a... So, the reason I said that, I was on Travelocity. But you want to talk to the peoples? If you want to talk to the peoples, look deep in the camera. That's how you talk. And if not, lay down. Don't mash the babies if you're going to lick them. So they had Chateau on the Lake for $159 or $152 a night, which is really cheap for this beautiful hotel up in Branson. And so I tried to book it and it would not go through. It kept saying error, right? I'm like, yeah, I bet. So I called them and they said, no, it's $351 a night. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, never will go through. And she did, well, let me see if I can see if it will, I don't know, price match is what she said. Well, she said, no, we can't do that. So anyway, I got on last night or the night before and found another booking place. And all the bad reviews was about the cancellation. So I've already got my money. But I did book a room for 2 nights at one I don't know, it was 150 something. It was 307, and then they added their taxes and fees of another, I don't know, it's quite a bit, $70 or something. But still, we have our rooms booked. So, easy, Mommy. I think we're going to get to go to Silver Dollar City and the Dixie Stampede and stuff the kids like to do. It's been a long time since I've been to the Dixie Stampede. Alright, so while she's licking her puppies, let me see. Here's the foot. Let me see if she'll let me Dremel her nails. She doesn't care. I don't care. You can Dremel my nails, I don't care. Dremel them. You gonna Dremel my nails, Ma? I don't care. I don't want no kisses. You've been licking them nasty butts. So you can get there too if you just be consistent. So even though these puppies were born 2 days later than the other litter, they have teeth. They have more teeth. This one has more teeth than the puppies in the other box. Is that crazy? I don't know. My doctor's all the time telling me it's about when they ovulate. I'm like, yeah, not when they're bred. Like, that's crazy. How can that be? That's what he says. Come here, baby. Now, Liberty, I know I haven't Dremeled yours. Where are you? There she is. Ooh, look at that full belly. Look at that full belly, Mama. Gosh, these guys are pooping good, and I got one in the other box that's not pooping good. No, hold still. Get the tips off the... So, I know it's kind of like professional ice skaters make ice skating look so easy, don't they? So this is the one thing I'd say about the Dixie Stampede. Let me see if I can say this in a wonderful, respectful way. So they use a lot of horses, and that's fun, and you know, people come to see them ride. But when we were there, it's been a long time ago. I know horses. I can read horses, and there was this one girl on a horse, and her horse wanted to throw her so bad. I'm shocked the horse didn't toss her in the performance. So just because you see people on horses does not mean, and I see this when I watch the old westerns. I mean, there were some people, you know, Ronald Reagan could really ride. I mean, he knew what he was doing. He said a horse very well. But that was not, all the cowboys in the West, in the Western movies, did not. They all did not necessarily know how to ride. So it's kind of funny to watch the movies, and most of the Indians, they knew how to ride because they didn't get a saddle. They was just yelling, riding bareback. Woo! Your belly is so full, little man. So to the untrained eye, if you see someone on a horse, you might think that they know how to ride. That's not true. So I was watching a really good YouTube. I didn't get finished with it last night about, because this is what I tell my girls. I tell them, settle yourself into the saddle, you know, and if your horse is jumping around and being excited and all of that, if you'll settle yourself into the saddle and relax your pelvis and your hip flexors, just relax, then it really helps your horse relax too. And if you settle down correctly and settle deep, it's hard to get unseated. So this was this really, really, really good YouTube thing. This lady has this skeleton on this horse skeleton, and she's showing you how to actually do that properly. And so something that people may not know, just turn this off, Mommy. So a man and a woman's sacrum is, I mean, I know we have the same amount of ribs and blah, 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 but I'm just saying, in this pelvis area, we are made a little different, and we sit on a horse a little different. A man and a woman sits on a horse a little bit different. So, whether you believe it or not, it's true. So it was very, very interesting what she was talking about. And so one of my problems is my right. So my girlfriend had I think she had a hip replacement. I know it sounds horrible. She's my age. I mean, we're a month apart. And she had 2 hip replacements, and her hip, where the ball goes in the socket was just all worn out. So my right hip, sometimes when I sit in the saddle, I have to really let that relax, or I can get a cramp in that right hip socket. And if I've been doing my stretches like I'm doing now, it's a lot better. But if I haven't been and I just throw a leg over a saddle, I can be like, this is painful, until I settle down and get that hip to relax. What do you think? How do you set a saddle? Don't know how to sit on the saddle? How you sit on the saddle? How do you sit on the saddle? Because I don't sit on no saddle. Mommy, I don't sit on no saddle. Oh, I'm talking about sitting on a saddle. I haven't been in the saddle in almost a year. I have a horse. I ain't no time to ride my horse. No. She's wagging her tail. I ain't no time to ride my horse, Mommy. Callie went home today, and these people that got her, they raise show Arabians. So I'm looking forward to going down there one day and riding with him. Go in my saddle. Actually, I had always wanted an Orthoflex saddle. Like, you want to know all this, probably not. And it was on my vision board for years, so I finally broke down and I bought one. And I was really, really, really disappointed in the way, I don't know. It's supposed to fit your horse great, right? But I can tell you, on that 100-mile ride last summer, I think I was a little out of balance on my right. I know I'm stronger in my right side, so I was leaning a little to my right, and the saddle got off balance. Anyway, it was not. Actually, it wasn't near as comfortable as that Queenie saddle that I bought for my girlfriend, who had the hip replacement, whose daughter won it at a rodeo because she could, like, ride anything. She was riding when she was in diapers. Oh, I feel those little teeth. Oh, I feel those little teeth. Oh, I feel those little teethers. Ow, you're biting me. I'm going to give them a little bit of kibble. Or not kibble, but canned dog food tonight. I don't think you're sucking on a nipple. Yeah, this girl's so good. She was letting me journal her nails. Yeah, I should go take a file out there to my horse's feet. My farrier, I didn't keep the horse's shoed all winter long. And it's May, and he hadn't called me. He's supposed to start shoeing them again in March, but, you know, I don't ride. I mean, I haven't ridden in so long. I just hate to spend the money to get them shoed and just let them fall off, right? Just let them fall off. Well, I do think of Mommy Dog. So I was going to do a video on head structure. And so when I started almost 20 years ago, I thought that the bullmastiff head should look more like a pug, and that was the look you wanted. And over the years, I've learned that's not necessarily what we want. This was funny. Someone saw one of these videos and they said, "Oh, they're puggles." I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not puggles. No, they're not puggles. So, talking about correct head structure according to the bullmastiff breed standard. Your ear is yucky. Why does your ear look all yucky? Probably all the dog food I'm feeding. This ear looks good, and this ear is not good. So this girl, so the nose should be a third of the head, not a fourth. In other words, if her nose was shorter, it really would be incorrect. So her nose is actually correct. Because the problem is, if you get their nose too short, they're like a bulldog. They can't cool themselves. I mean, typically speaking, most bulldogs, if they walked around the block, they'd die of heat exhaustion. And if they fell in the water, they'd drown because they don't have a neck, right? I mean, I guess they have a neck, but they don't have a very long neck. But there's a balance. I know people want big. The biggest heads I've ever seen were round, not square. They had round eyes. Like Twinkle had that. She had a round head. It was big, but she had a round head and she had round, I know, the bug eyes, like a pug. You know, I had a friend that had what was it? Wasn't a Lhasa Apso. It was what were those over in the Tibetan temples, and they killed almost all of them? Oh, what were they called? Not Shih Tzus. They have all this hair. Anyway, if you hit them on the side of the head, you can pop their eyeballs out. I know, like, pop them back in there, but still, it's conformational incorrectness, right? Oh, yeah. Let me see. What were they called? No, I think the Lhasa Apsos are white, aren't they? Anyway, they have all this hair, right? And they're kind of long, and they have all this hair. I don't know. I'll have to find a picture, and then the name of them will come to me. I'll remember what they're called. But there are a Lhasa Apsos, and I'm just... Maybe that is right. Anyway, the story goes that the temple priest killed them because they didn't want anyone to get them, but there were 2 or 3 that got hidden, and then they survived to carry on the breed. Kind of like Hitler and the Dog de Bordeaux, the French Mastiffs in World War II. Most of them were killed because they were wonderful home protection dogs, and they were good farm dogs and wonderful fighting dogs. You know, if somebody come to hurt your family, they would give their life to protect you. So the army started killing them because they were. The Dog de Bordeaux is a French breed. So, you know, if I had a magic wand, I would make her muzzle a tiny bit wider. I would. But, you know, really, this head, if you want to run 5 miles a day, this is the head you're looking for to be a true working dog that would be able to just get out there and work the farm with you. She's got a pretty decent butt, too. Well, I've been in here 17 minutes. I'm going to jump out and let her just nurse them if she'll settle down now. I've got her excited about getting out. Just so she knows the word O-U-T, so I should quit using it. Or you look in the camera and say, hello. You're going to stay in. That's I-N. You're not getting O-U-T. You're staying I-N. No, such a good mommy. Well, her dirty bear, mommy, but she ain't feeding hers, but she's doing a better job of cleaning them. You're doing a better job of feeding. She don't do much cleaning. She didn't do much housework. I don't like to do housework. I don't like to do housework. I don't like to do housework. I'm gonna turn this off.